Want to play some Metallica without breaking a sweat? Today I'm showing you 5 of their easiest and most iconic riffs that you can start playing today. Alright, before we get started, if you're looking for the tab and the Guitar Pro files for these riffs, make sure and check out my Patreon down below. You'll find a link to that, and also I've got a free gift for you that's called 5 Must-Know 80s Metal Riffs, and you can find that link also down in the description. Make sure and check those out. Okay, this first riff by Metallica, this one is Welcome Home Sanitarium. This is very suitable for intermediate, beginner level players because it's so slow. Now what you want to do is dial up a clean tone. This is basic clean. And what I've done is put a little chorus on it just to give it some vibe. So if I take the chorus and put it back on, here it is without it. Still nice, but the chorus gives it some the lush factor. So if you have an amp with a chorus, or you have a chorus pedal, you can use multi-effects or whatever, then I would suggest it with a nice clean tone. Now what's going on here is you're just playing this E, you're playing like a B power chord, 2nd fret A string, 4th fret on the D, and then you want to hit the open E, the open low E, and then the open G. But all you do is you just start picking from the 6th string and go 6, 5, 4, 3. So now what you do is you move this up 1 fret. So now you're at 3rd fret on the A, 5th fret D. Same picking pattern with that open E and open G. Move it up 2 frets to the D 5 power chord, and now you've got same picking pattern. You can play all downs with this, all down strokes. Or you could alternate pick it. Whatever works. It's slow enough to where you can do all down picking on this. Then the very end goes like this. Now here's where you might need to alternate pick at least that last note, but the notes are 5 on the low E, 4 on the A, open D this time, and then move that back to 3 on the low E, 2 on the A, open D, then slide it back up to 5 on the low E, but then hit the open D string. So here you might want to go down up there, down on the A note, up on that D. Okay, so here's the whole thing one more time for you. I'm sure you've heard this before. One of the most famous of all Metallica riffs if not the most famous, is also a very simple riff in the key of E. Now what we're doing here is just playing an E power chord with the open string, and then the second fret on the A. Just your standard variety E power chord, and then you play another low E string, kind of muted, and then you slide up to the 7th fret on the A string. And then that slide's important. And then 6 on the low E, 5 on the low E. That's the basic riff. So you do that 3 times, and at the end you play this. Okay, so what we're going to do here is play a G5 power chord, 3rd fret on the low E, 5th fret A. Again, make sure you grab the tab over at Patreon if you're having any trouble following along here. Then we're going to play F sharp at the 2nd fret, and then so we're going to go G and then open E, and then F sharp and then low and then open E, and then F sharp G, F sharp. So it'd sound like this. So you're muting everything except that first G chord. Then everything else is muted with the palm muting. Right. This is something I cover in my new course, 80s Metal Guitar 101. If you have any trouble at all with these basic things here, that course will help level you up and get you straightened out so you can play this riff. Okay, this one's all about power and groove. This is Sad But True, one of the heaviest and easiest Metallica riffs. Now, on this one, what you want to do is tune your guitar to D standard. This is a whole step down. That's one reason why this riff sounds so heavy. You don't have to tune down to play the riff. Obviously, you can play it in your own tuning, but you're not going to be able to play along with me, or you're not going to be able to play along with the actual song if you're trying to play the song. So it's just an E power chord. Obviously, we're tuned down a whole step, so it sounds like a D, but it's an E power chord in our context for our purposes here. So you play the first one without any muting, and then you play it again with 2 big mutes. You're muting that whole E power chord, open string, low E, and then the 2nd fret A string. So it's, and then you play 5 on the A, pull off to the open, 1st fret A, pull off to the open, and then 3rd fret low E, pull off to the open, and then you start it over. So. Now on this 4th one, you play this. So you play the 5th fret on the A string, pull off to the open, and then play 5 2 more times. And then you play the whole thing again. Do that much and then do it again. And then start bending it. So on that second pass through, you start bending it, and it ends up being about a whole step bend, which is 2 frets, and then bring it back down. And that's it. That's the whole riff, guys. Really simple, but really heavy, and one of their coolest songs, I think. Okay, riff number 4. Now we are looking at Seek and Destroy, an all-time classic. This was another one of those early inspirations, guitar inspirations for me. Here it is slow. Okay, so this is the intro of the song, obviously, and it's playing off of the open A string. Mute that twice, and then you go to the G string and play 7, hammer on to 8, and then pick 7. And then open A, and then 7/8 on the D in the same way. So pick 7, hammer on to 8, and then pick 7 again. So you have this. Now notice those open A strings are muted. 2 at first, and then another open, and then okay, now we're going to play this run. And this we have open A, and then 8/7 on the A string, and then 5 on the D, 7A, and then 5G, 7D. Now this riff is slow enough to where you can do all of this with downstrokes. You shouldn't have to worry about playing any alternate picking here. Okay, so here's that whole riff. Now at the very end, before it goes to the next part of the song, we have this little connecting riff. And this is right out of the E minor pentatonic scale. We're going to go up to 9 on the G, 7 G, then 9D, back to 7 G, and then 9, 8, 7, 5 on the D. Right out of the E blues scale there. Okay, so that's right at the end of Okay, this is For Whom the Bell Tolls, and this will be our last riff. Another pretty easy riff here from the Metallica guys, but super effective. It goes like this. Okay, so with all Metallica, you're going to get some chug work happening here. Also on the low E string here, so 3 open E's and then G5 power chord, same thing. And then up to an A5, so back to G. Now we're gonna go to a B flat here. First fret on the A, 3rd fret D, and then to an F sharp power chord at the 2nd fret on the low E. So the whole riff so far. And then it start again. So a little different at the end here. Add on a couple of low E's there, and then B flat, F sharp, and then back to F. And that's the whole riff, and then you just cycle that. And so on. All right, so I hope you really enjoyed this look at 5 easy Metallica riffs. I think these are very doable for early intermediate players and even beginners to start getting your chops together. There's lots to work on here with the palm muting and so forth. So if you need help with the tab or the guitar profiles, make sure and head on over to Patreon down there in the link. Make sure and grab that 5 must-know 80s metal riffs also down there in the link. And I'll see you next time. Rock on.